Personalized service, tailored solutions, and a friendly face every time you walk through the door. Discover the difference of banking with someone who truly cares and go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company, where community comes first. Stop in or visit asbg.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Save on Steel outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new Steel backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your Steel this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Looking for reliable, professional services for your business? Look no further than 1.4 Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydrochloric acid, or bulk chemicals, we've got you covered. 1.4 Services tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your production to the next level? Call us today at 701-774-1105. 1.4 Services, LLC, your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For more than 70 years, Expanse Electrical Company has delivered market-leading electrical, power, and automation expertise, built upon a legacy of technology, quality, and craftsmanship. They are confident that they have the best team in the industry and welcome opportunity to serve you. A proud member of the Williston community, Expanse continually works to build a better future for their company, their craftsmen, and their customers. They pride themselves on having one of the most proficient teams of directly employed licensed electricians and automation engineers in the industry. Interested in powering up your career? Visit expanseelectrical.com/careers to learn about their openings in the North Dakota region.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
back here now in the Well in Williston to get you ready for the men's game as the Tetons are out on the court warming up. Royals just exited the gym as they are headed back to the locker room for a couple of seconds to get all ready to go. We'll take a look at both teams here statistically wise, and we'll start a look at Lake Region State. Lake Region comes in with a record on the season of 12-13, but they have been playing some of their best basketball as of late, although they have been 1-4 in their last 5 games. They played the number 1 team in the conference, Dawson Community College, to a 12-point game. Last game they won was against BSC. Looking at their stats now, they average 85 points per game, shooting 41% from the field. However, just 27% from beyond the arc and 64% from the line. Averaging pull down 43 rebounds per contest. They allow 45 rebounds per game, so they're a negative 1.8 in conference play. Assist on 15 buckets per game, and they foul an average of 17 times per game as well. Looking at some of the individual scores to see who's pacing the way for Lake Region State. Leading them in scoring in points per game is Bronson Chambers. Chambers, a sophomore guard out of Ontario, averaging 15 even, 14.2 points for Poet Davis, 12.7 from Genuine Tropnas, and 10.3 from Akok Ayu. Looking over now at Williston State and the Tetons. The Tetons look to continue to secure their number 2 spot in the conference. Williston State has the tiebreaker over United Tribes, although Tribes will not be in the postseason as they play in a Division II schedule for tournaments. Both teams are at 5-3, so the Tetons now with a half a game lead over the 3rd seed in North Dakota State College of Sciences. Against the 4 seed in NDSCS. Lake Region State just behind at 4-5, so the Tetons looking to see if they can improve to 6-3 on the season. They also had 2 wins wiped away. They were against this Lake Region State team as well as tomorrow's opponent in NDSCS, so the Tetons, without those, they would be currently at a 7-1 record in the conference play. We'll have to see what can shake free here in this one. Looking at the stats for the men's side of things, as the Tetons now have about 2.5 minutes before they get underway with this one. The Tetons with a 17-7 overall record, coming in to look to improve upon their 9-1 record here at home in Williston. So some very friendly confines in the Well. Looking at their overall statistics on the season, the Tetons are averaging an impressive 93 points per game, shooting 49% from the field, 39% from deep, and 69% from beyond the arc. Williston State averages 41 rebounds per game. They are a +7 in conference games rebounding, so a very, very prolific rebounding team. 16 assists per game, only 13 turnovers, and they have a lot of other deep stats to go in here. You're talking about efficiency, but only averaging 15 fouls per game. Looking at the individual leaders for Williston State, starting off with scoring, and leading the way for the Tetons in scoring is Rex Sterling. He's averaging 18.3 a game, and Josiah McDonald in with 15.1 per contest. Just out of the 10-point range is Demetra Kindle. Comes off the bench scoring 9.7, and Eden Hobbs coming in with 8.5. The Tetons, they have waves of options. If it's not Sterling's day, it's either McDonald's day or Kindle's day or Hobbs' day or Yambi's day or Massey's day or Olson's day or Johnson's day or Ingott's day. So a wave of options for Coach Alex Herman to throw at any kind of team he comes up against. We'll have to see what he has in store. Final minute before we get underway in this one. From the Well in Williston, Tetons will be in their home white jerseys with black lettering and trim, and the Royals will be in their black jerseys with blue trim and white lettering. Final half minute, we're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineup.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Kasasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Mike, we're back here. Time now for the starting lineups for Lake Region State. They'll be coming out first. Number 1, a 5'11 freshman guard from Minneapolis, Poet Davis. Out next is number 4, Alvin Payne, a 6-foot freshman guard from Blaine, Minnesota. Number 11, Bronson Chambers, the leading scorer for the Royals. Chambers is a 6'5 sophomore guard from Ontario, Canada. Out next, number 33, Akok Ayu, a 6'6 freshman forward from Alberta, Canada. And number 34, Genuine Tropnas, is a 6'10 sophomore forward from Montreal, Canada. Royals are coached by Jared Marshall, assisted by Winder Joseph and Channing Reed. Now it's time for the starting lineups for Williston State and the Tetons. Richard Massey getting a start here for the Tetons. Massey is a 6'3 guard out of Katy, Texas. Next up, coming into the lineup for Williston State is going to be number 4, a 6-foot freshman guard from San Antonio, Texas, Josiah McDonald. He followed up by number 5, Tyson Inget, a 5'8 sophomore guard from Powers Lake, North Dakota. Next up, number 11, Ian Johnson, a 6'4 sophomore guard from Minot, North Dakota. And the big man in the middle for Williston State is Rex Sterling, a 6'8 sophomore forward from Melbourne, Australia, wearing number 25. Tetons are coached by Alex Herman. We have a little change there, as it is Massey starting in the spot. Usually we see Makai Marks. We'll have to see if Marks is no worse for wear or if just how well Massey has been playing lately. We're ready to go here in the well in Williston. Sterling will be going up in the center circle against Tropnas. These two have seen several games against each other so far. They have now 5 games now tipped off, game number 6 against each other, so very familiar forwards. This will be a good battle down low. Payne has the ball, looking to curl around. He'll drive on Inget. Pushes it back up on top to Davis. He'll peel it back. Davis looking to work on McDonald. Kicks it out over to Chamber. Chamber fires from long range. That's no good. McDonald's going to come down with it. He gets it off to Massey. Massey threw a ton of contact, and it's going to be a foul coming on the Royals. Massey hit the padding on the stanchion hard, right into the logo of our game day sponsor here in Buffalo Wild Wings. That'll send Richard Massey to the stripe for a pair. That foul's going to go on Bronson Chamber. So Chambers picks up his first personal, first team, as Massey's at the line for 2 shots. His first one misses. He'll have one more coming. So we'll see now with an early foul on Chambers, who's their leading scorer. The Tetons look to attack him early and often. Second one from Massey's no good. Sterling gets it. He's going to flip it up. That's going to be blocked on the way up. It'll be into the hands of Chambers. Back up the court comes Payne. Payne spins in the paint. He's going to be fouled underneath. That's going to be a foul on Inget. So now each team with 1 foul apiece here. 19:29 left to go in the first half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Now at the line is Alvin Payne for 2 shots on the foul. We'll have his first one on the way. That one is going to be good. So it's Lake Region who strikes first. They get their first point from the line. Now a chance from one more from Payne. 19:29 left to go in the first. Payne taking his time at the stripe. Here comes 2 of 2. That one will be good as well. The Royals have a 2-0 lead. Long pass from Inget up to Johnson. Back to Inget across the timeline. McDonald comes and picks it up. Back to Tyson. Good ball movement by the Tetons. Tyson drives. McDonald on top for 3. That one is going to rattle around. No good. Sterling couldn't tip it away from Tropnas. Back up the court comes Payne and the Royals. He's going to cross over. Stop the low block. Cut off by Inget. Back out to Aju. Aju will pull it back. Bounce pass to Tropnas. Up on top. He'll find it in the hands of Davis. Davis, swing pass over to Chamber. Looking down low underneath for Trotnoff. He faces up on Sterling. Muscles up against the big man for Williston State. Great defense for Rex. But a tough fadeaway bucket by Trotnoff will get it in there. Now a 4-0 lead. Johnson racing up the court. He picks up his dribble, now gives it to Sterling on the baseline. Cross court, it'll go over to Inget. Looking to drive. Bounce pass to Sterling. What a time by Inget. And Sterling finishes at the rim. 4-2. Tetons got one off. And they'll have their first points of the game. Trotnoff on top of the perimeter. Looking to drive on Sterling. Crosses over, gets into the body of the big man. And they're going to call a foul on Rex. So Rex looks over at Coach Herman and says, yeah, don't worry about it, as Sterling picks up his first. So we may see here if they continue to push with Trotnoff an early entrance from Freedom Leon, especially if they look to attack Sterling early and often. Coach Herman getting an explanation from the stripes out on the court on the foul as Trotnoff will go to the line for a pair. His first one is going to be on the way, and that one will rattle in there for one. 3-point lead for the Royals, a chance to push it back out to a 4-point lead if Trotnoff can knock down his second of two. Trotnoff at the stripe for his second. That one is going to be good. Perfect. 4 for 4 from the line for the Royals. Back up the court comes Inget and the Tetons. He's going to get a step on Davis. Drives, kicks it into the corner for Massey. Wide open three from Massey. That is in. Richard Massey, the huge three-pointer, makes it a 1-point game. Now 6-5. Payne back up the court, looking to drive on Inget. Good defense by Tyson. Trotnoff, a long 2-point shot. That one's going to rattle out, no good. McDonald and Sterling are both going for it. Comes down to the Tetons. McDonald out to Sterling. He's going to drive on Trotnoff, who lays it up and in. Hoop and the harm. Rex Sterling now with 4 points and a chance for 5. And he also put the Tetons on the high side for the first time this afternoon. That foul will go on Trotnoff. Now each big for their respective teams with one foul apiece. Sterling at the line, trying to complete the 3-point play, and it'll be short, no good. So Rex misses it. It'll stay a 1-point Teton lead, 7-6, with 17:45 left to go. Push off by Chambers, not called. Another push off, not called. He gave a forearm shiver to Massey. Coach Herman not happy with that one. Back comes Massey with the ball, gets it from Inget. Stream from Sterling. Sterling gets it in space. Once again with Chambers. Trotnoff barrels over. Sterling gets it off to Massey. Massey kicks it into the corner. Wide open look for McDonald for three. In and out. No good. Johnson trying to get it down, and it's going to be touched out of bounds by, they say, Ian Johnson. So this one they're letting a lot of physicality go here to start this one. Tetons holding on to a 1-point lead, 7-6. Closing in. Here comes a drive by Davis. High angle off the board. Poet Davis with his first bucket of the game. Back up on top is Lake Region. McDonald now into the mid-range area. Kicks it out to Inget. Inget's going to drive along the baseline. Bounce pass to Sterling. Gets a good seal. He's going to be hit on the way up by Trotnoff. Still no call. And into the hands of AU. AU will cross over on Johnson. Works his way. Gets it up on top to Chambers. He's going to drive. Swing pass. There's offensive foul called on Trotnoff. Moving screen into the shoulder of Richard Massey. And a couple of subs now coming into the game. Mackay Marks and Ben Yambi into the game for Massey and Inget. Also, Eden Hobbs checking into the game. As Chambers comes out of the game for the Royals. Matt Muddingay sees his first action. Also, Ian Johnson was replaced by Hobbs. Back come the Tetons, trailing by 1. Hobbs will hand it off to McDonald on the perimeter. Over to Yambi. Yambi from way downtown. Got it to go! Ben Yambi with a huge triple for Williston State. Back up the court now. Come the Tetons. Or comes the Royals. A drive by Davis. He'll swing the pass over onto the perimeter. Three-pointer coming now from Davis, and he'll knock that one down. Answers the call back from Yambi. So back-to-back three-pointers, one from each team. It's back to a 1-point Royal lead. McDonald spinning. He's going to be hooked by Davis. Cause McDonald to hit the deck, so Davis will pick up his first personal, 4th team. So a couple of fouls left to give for the Royals. Plenty to give for Williston State. Yambi set to inbound. from the near sideline. Hobbs comes and picks it up, hands it back off to Yambi. Big Sterling screen. Yambi forced to bail away, gives it to Hobbs in the corner to Marks. Marks had Sterling wide open underneath, couldn't find him. Good closeout by Tropnos. Backdoor pass to McDonald. Jump stop in the paint. Bounce pass to Marks in the corner. 3-ball on the way. Offensive rebound by Sterling. Rex gets his man up in the air, and he's going to be fouled by Ajou. That'll be his first personal, team fifth. Will Olson now set to come in for Williston State, as Sterling will go back to the line his second trip. He missed a chance to complete a three-point play earlier in the half. 15:53 left to go in the first. Sterling at the line for his first of two. First one is going to be up and good. Now Rex 1 for 2 overall from the stripe, and we have a tie game. McDonald checking out with Olsen coming in. Ajou checking out of the game for the Royals with Josh Miller checking in. Miller, a 6'3 freshman from Australia. Next one on the way for Sterling is going to be up and good. 2 for 2 that trip for Rex. He has 6 points in the game, and the Tetons are back up by 1. Davis with a baseline drive, tries to get it over to Tropnos. Now it's going to be deflected. Miller comes and picks it up. Tropnos now has it up on top, looking to get it off to Payne. Payne picks up a Tropnos screen. Payne going to drive. He throws a high angle up, and that one is good. Back to a 1-point lead for the Royals. Olsen on the near wing. Kicks it up on top to Hobbs. Hobbs looks to penetrate, slices through, and tries to flip it underneath to Sterling. It'll go out of bounds back to Williston State. So the Tetons now look to inbound from underneath their own basket to reclaim the lead. We've went back and forth throughout the first 4.5 minutes of the first. Marks flashes up to the corner. He'll pick it up now up on top to Wilson. Olsen back to Yambi, looking underneath. Gets it over to Sterling on the post, expended over to Olsen. Olsen with a seam. He takes the shot, no good. Long rebound pulled down by Davis. He's running the court, looking for Tropnos in transition. Can't find him. Davis kicks it out of the wing. In the corner it'll go now to Miller. Miller back out to Mundingay. Back underneath to Tropnos. Got away with the hook. Throws it off the glass, no good. Pulled down by Marks. Marks pushes it up the court. Going to be Tropnos down. Yambi to Olsen. Gets it. Mundingay with a mismatch on Sterling. Olsen up on top to Marks. Marks with a three-pointer. Mackay will knock it down. Third three-pointer of the half for Williston State. That'll be Miller. Has it on the far wing. He'll hand it off to Davis. Davis, a flashy guard, driving on Yambi. Is going to throw it off the leg of Will Olsen. 22 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 14:34 in the half. An inbound play from the baseline for Lake Region State. Lake Region getting their play call in from head coach Marshall. Mundingay calls for action. Davis can't come open. He's being harangued by Yambi. Finally gets a seam. And a very contested three. It's going to be an air ball pulled down by Marks. He'll get it back off to Yambi. Under 14.5. Up it'll go to Hobbs. Hobbs breaking down on Payne. Going to drive. Fade away. Little one-hander. Up no good. Loose ball. It's going to be tipped in the air. Loose ball again. Still a loose ball. It'll be still a loose ball. Mark's going to collide on it. Mundingay has it. And he's going to try. He will call a timeout. Mundingay wisely called a timeout before anyone else could careen onto the ball. It's going to be a short timeout called by Lake Region State with 14:13 left to go in the half. Tetons up by a bucket, 15-13. We'll be back in half a minute.
Farmers and ranchers, set your goals with American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston. Whether it's equipment, land, or working capital, our experienced ag team offers a flexible, competitive, and personalized approach.
This is Aaron Granley, Ag Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. We understand the challenges and opportunities unique to this region. Reach out today to set up a visit to our office or out in your field.
ASB's experienced and committed ag team is ready to help you go beyond. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Substitution out of the court for Lake Region. Out of the game now is Genuine Tropnos. Coming in for him is number 2, Ron Lee. Lee, a sophomore guard from Minneapolis, a quartet of Minneapolis players on the team for Lake Region. Payne coming up the court. Big screen set on top of the perimeter. Gets it up on top. Wide open. Miller straightaway three. No good. Going to be pulled down by Yambi. He'll force the issue up the court. Yambi has a defender on his back in Lee. Out to Hobbs. Crosses over. Out to Marks for a three-pointer. Here comes. No good. And no, it'll take a second bounce and drop in there. Mackay Marks hits his second three of the half. Tetons up by 5. Back out on the wing. Now Payne. Bounce pass into Aju. Aju looking to work his way, bully his way against Leon. Lee with a baseline drive on Olsen. Pulls up from 17. That's in and out. No good. Pulled down by Hobbs. Hobbs pushes it up the court. 3 Tetons set to come in on the next break. Hobbs with a Euro step through, and that's a ridiculous call there. As Muddingay was not set, shuffling his feet. And Hobbs will pick up his first personal. Out of the game comes a trio of Tetons. We have a media timeout on the court, so we'll take a 1-minute timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw. Built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Team Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Team Athletics.
Mike, we're back here. It is Lake Region State's ball coming out of the media timeout. 13:23 left to go in the first half. Carson Hare and Demetra Kindle make their first appearance on the court for Williston State. Alvin Payne now looking to get down low. He's going to lose it off of his leg. Good defense there by Demetra Kindle. Kindle's a spark plug coming off the bench for Williston State as he looks to see if he can't push this 5-point lead out. Hare brings it up the court, kicks it off to Kindle, crosses the timeline. Kindle looking to baseline, underneath to McDonald, jump stop, puts it up and in. 2 more points for Kindle as the Tetons look to continue to do some good work. McDonald now with his first 2 points, and they're going to call a foul on McDonald as he looked like he would have had a very clear pick of a pass over to Lee. So that'll be number 1 on McDonald. 4th team foul on Williston State. Lake Region sitting with 5. 12:56 left to go in the first half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound pass goes in the backcourt to Payne. Gets a step on Hare. Going to drive underneath and he'll be blocked from behind. The ball's going to go out of bounds again back to the Tetons. That time Freedom Leon in on the block party. 12:50 left to go. Tetons now up by 7. Their largest lead of the game, 20-13. Hare again. He'll get it off to Kindle. Kindle up the court. McDonald flashes around the elbows. Sets a screen for Leon. Leon with a mid-range jumper. Up and in. Freedom Leon from the elbow. 9-point lead for Williston State. Muddingay back up the court. He'll hand it off to Lee. Lee goes for the floater and he's going to be fouled. And that foul is going to be number 2 on McDonald, so he picks up a couple ones in quick succession. So we may not see a bunch more time on the court here for this midway portion of half number 1 as he's over talking to Coach Herman. A couple of subs to check into the game for Lake Region. Lee at the line for his first of 2. First one barely is going to kiss the front of the rim. Muddingay will check out with Davis coming back in, as well as Payne checking out, and Albert Wellington seeing his first run here this afternoon. Lee at the line for his second of 2. On the way, and that one is good. Cuts a lead down to 8 points. Hare will get the ball picked up by Lee. He gets it off to Kindle, who crosses the timeline. Kindle, little shimmy to shake, step back, gets it off to McDonald on the wing. McDonald, they give him a sliver of light, and just off the front of the rim, and it's going to be a foul on the Royals. That looks like it's going to go against Aju. It'll be his second, and Tropnos will quickly pop off the bench to come back in. So Aju coming out of the game, and Tropnos back in. Both the bigs now for Lake Region have 2 personals. Coach Herman calling out a play for his squad. Kindle going to get the ball in the corner, looking for someone to open up. He get it up on top to Mars. Now swings it to McDonald, waiting, surveying. Freedom having a tough go against Tropnos, trying to find some opening. Kindle with 8 on the shot clock. Looking to get it off, just about stolen away. Gets it over to Hare. Hare, catch and shoot on the way. That one no good. Freedom, Leon puts it back up and in for 2. Freedom now has 4 points for Williston State, and they have a 10-point, 24-14 lead. Lee has it now on the perimeter. Weaving around, hands it off to Wellington. Wellington looking to drive on Marks, cut off up on the perimeter, or on the free throw line to Tropnos, and they're going to get a foul on Leon. It'll be his first personal. 6-team foul. Neither team has any left to give. That'll send Tropnos to the stripe. He's sitting at 4 points. 2 of them have come from the charity stripe so far in the game. So Genuine Tropnos at the stripe for his first of 2. Looking to cut into this 10-point Teton lead with 11:39 left to go in the first half. First one is going to be off the back of the iron. No good. We'll have one more coming. Tetons have already went 12 deep on their bench. Royals also have went significantly deep as Tropnos fires his second. That's going to be short, no good. It'll be tipped up, and a rebound comes down to Wellington. Back up on top now to Davis. Davis, the silky guard, driving, spins on McDonald. McDonald, good defense. It'll be into the hands of Kindle. Kindle pushes up the court. Davis slow to get up. 5-on-4. Kindle driving, gets to the elbow. He'll flips it into the corner. A little too pass for Mackay Marks. Tetons pushing just a little bit too much. Wanted to take advantage of the man-up trip down the court. And now it'll go back to Lake Region State. Lee will bring it back up the court for the Royals, still sitting at a 10-point game. Miller sends it over to Davis on the near wing. Now looking for Miller underneath. He has a mismatch on Hare. They get out to Miller on the corner. He rises and fires and drops it in there. Josh Miller for his first bucket of the game. It's a triple to make it a 7-point contest, 24-17. McDonald with the ball on top. He's going to curl around the top of the perimeter. Picked up by Davis. Now to Marks. Marks up on top to Kindle. 5 Tetons set to come in on the next stop. Kindle is going to spin. Gets down into the paint. Throws it up to rejected by Tropnos. Miller comes down with it. And here comes a long pass to Tropnos on the low post, and he's going to be fouled. And that'll be number 2 on Leon. So Freedom Leon picks up a quick second himself. Now Freedom and McDonald with 2 fouls. And that sends Tropnos back to the stripe. He'll have free throws number 5 and 6 coming. He's so far 2 for 4 from the line. 4 starters and Will Olson set to check into the game for the Tetons after this first free throw, and it is dropped in by Tropnos. So all on, all off for Williston State as Tropnos has one more coming. Back in is Richard Massey, Tyson Inget, Rex Sterling, and Ian Johnson. Tropnos at the line for his second of 2, and that one is going to be good. 2 for 2 for the line. Inget gets a bump from behind by Wellington. As now it's down to a 5-point game, 5-0 run for the Royals. Inget's going to drive. He gets down low. Going to get it off to Wilson. Olsen on the drive. Underneath to Sterling. Sterling loses the ball in the paint. It's going to be picked up by Wellington. He'll push it up the court. Wellington, swing pass over to Miller. Closed out by Johnson. Tropnos now on the baseline. Pump fake, gets into the body of Sterling, and there's going to be a travel called. Rex with good defense, forces the turnover, and the Tetons get it back. Chance now to put some points on the board and stop the bleeding. Johnson gets the ball from Inget, pushes up the court, hands it back to Tyson. Bounce pass on the high post to Rex. Ian back to Tyson. Looking down low again for Rex, gets it in the mid post. Working on Tropnos. Bounce. Gets it 1-2 underneath, up and in. Rex Sterling now with 8 in the game, pushes the lead back up to 7 points, 26-19, under 10 minutes left to go. Wellington driving on Massey. He swings it up on top to Davis. Davis drives on Inget, misses the layup, no good. Inget pushing the pace up the court. Can fly down, swings it over to Massey. Massey with some space, lets it go, gets it to drop. Richard Massey with his second triple of the half. Tetons back up by 10 on a 5-0 run of their own. That'll be a baseline drive by Lee. He's going to take a long, foot was on the line, and they call it a long 2-pointer from Lee. 29-22. Massey with a baseline drive. He's going to finish at the rack and put it up and in. Richard Massey now has scored the last 5 points for Williston State. Lead is back up to 10 once again. 31-21. Timeout on the court called by the Royals. We're going to take a full timeout ourselves. We'll be back for more Teton basketball here on the Williston State YouTube page in 60 seconds.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw. Built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Michael back here. Tetons have the lead with 9:15 left to go in the first half. 31-21 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Davis gets it off to Chambers, who's back in the game, flips it back on to Payne. Payne driving on Inget, throws one up. That's going to be no good. Pulled down by Olsen. Olsen weaving through traffic. He hits the brakes and gets a better angle. Behind his back he goes. He gets to the elbow, flips it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to be hit by Davis, no foul call. Gets it ahead, flips it into the wing to Massey, and Massey was going the wrong way. A little bit of miscommunication as the Tetons are being clobbered anytime they get down low. That'll be the Royals' ball. Davis gets it into Payne, marks it across the timeline, hands it off to Davis. Looking to drive on Inget, gets in the body of Sterling. That one's going to be no good. Inget with the board. He's going to push it up the court. Over to Olsen. Olsen through contact. That's no good. Pulled down by Chambers. Chambers looks to push it up the other way into Davis. Davis flips it up for Trumpnos. Can't come down with it in space. He flips it up, and that one will be no good. Loose ball come down to Inget. Inget's going to be tackled, and they're going to call a travel on Tyson.
Good job.
Coach Herman wanted a jump ball at the very least. Now Trumpnos has a question for one of the officials before we inbound the ball back in. Still a 10-point Teton lead, 31-21 with 8:22 left to go. Inbound being triggered by Wellington. Calls for action. Trumpnos picks it up. He'll get it up on top to Chambers. Now over to Davis. Davis back to Wellington. He'll fire from range. That one is going to be good. Albert Wellington with his first field goal of the game. He has 3 points off of that triple. 7-point Teton lead. Johnson now on the wing. Hands it off to Massey. Massey drives, gets to the elbow. He's going to high angle, put it up, and it falls into the rim. Richard Massey now with 10 points. 9-point Teton lead. Back a long pass will go up to Davis. Gets it off to Chambers. Breaking down on Johnson. Back up on top to Davis. It'll go. Looking for a step back. Nothing there. They're trying to find Trumpnos. It'll be Chambers now with a drive. Long angle shot. That's going to be no good. Sterling able to reel it in, and he'll get it off to Inget. Back come the Tetons. Closing in on 7.5 left to go in the first. Inget gets a step. He's going to go. Gets to the rack. No good. Sterling will tip it up. That's going to be no good. Long pass out to Trumpnos. He's going to try to Euro step through and somehow gets the wild shot to go. Genuine Trumpnos with 2 more. He has 8. Johnson over to Massey. Massey with a quick three-pointer coming back. No good. Sterling with the rebound. He's going to be stripped by Chambers, and there's going to be a foul called on Chambers, it looks like. No, they're going to say Chambers had the ball when he was out of bounds. Trumpnos will now come out of the game for Okokoyu. And the Tetons are going to make a sub with Ian Johnson coming out and Eden Hobbs coming in. Tetons inbounding underneath their own basket. Inget calling for action underneath to Sterling, who puts it up and in. Sterling now with 10 points in the game. 7:10 left to go. Tetons up by 9, 35-26. Payne for the Royals has it on the far wing. Pushes it over to Davis. Davis looking to drive. He's going to be fouled and gets it to go. If it's on Massey, it'll be his first. If it's on Sterling, it'll be his second. and it will go against Richard Massey, who picks up his first personal foul. Davis now is 7 points in the game with a chance for 8. Lead. So now be at the line for 1 is going to be Davis. Puts the shot up, and that one is good. 35-28. The Tetons now look to march back up the court. Hobbs at the head of steam. He's going to get a step finger roll to the dish. Eden Hobbs with his first bucket of the game. So strong. Hobbs with his frame, and he has some quickness to boot. Chambers now in the far wing. They get it now underneath to Oju. Bullying his way against Sterling. Sterling with good defense, but Oju just going to be able to flip it up and put it in. 6-point game, 37-31. Hobbs gets it across the timeline. Hands it off to Massey. Massey, he'll peel back out up on top to Olsen. Olsen looking to drive. He gets it on the mid-post area. Auto beat to Inget. Wide open for 3 for Inget. That's off the mark. No good. Sterling with the rebound. Drop step. Flips it up. That's no good. It'll be pulled down by the Royals. Back up the court comes Chambers. Chambers is going to lose the ball, but he'll regain control. Push it up. Tetons out of sort defensively. Inget can't get in front of him in time, and it's the first bucket of the game for Chambers. Down to a 4-point game again. Here comes a run by Lake Region. The Tetons have been able to answer back every time. We'll see if they can get going here. Olsen on top of the perimeter. Hands it off to Inget. Looking for Sterling. Bounce pass. Got him in space. Rex puts it up and in. 2 more for Rex. So Sterling pushed the lead out to 6, and there's going to be another timeout called on the court here with 5:49 left to go in the first half. Tetons up 39-33. Williston State called the timeout. It's a short one. We'll take a short one as well. Back in half a minute.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing leader, member FDIC.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball on the Williston State YouTube channel. Lake Region State ball coming back up the court. Tetons have a 6-point lead, 39-33. Up the court now, Alvin Payne on top of the perimeter. He'll get it on the high post to Aju. Drive on Sterling. Uses his frame to try to make some space. He'll throw it up. No good. He'll get his own rebound. Push off on Sterling underneath. And a forearm shiver underneath, and he's going to be a foul called on Sterling. That'll be Rex's second. So into the game, or out of the game, is going to go a couple of Royals. One of them is Chambers back out. As Aju is at the stripe to try to complete the 3-point play, and he can't do it. That'll keep it at a 4-point game, 39-53. Massey driving on Miller. He'll be cut off at the baseline. Now to Hobbs up on top. Finds Olsen. Sterling gets it in the paint. One-on-one with Aju. Backdoor pass. Running layup. Up no good. Tipped around. Sterling gets the long layup. Out will go to Massey. On the wing. Massey fires. Got it to go. Richard Massey with his third 3-pointer of the game. 42-35. Back up comes Davis. Looking to drive on Yambi. And Davis will be able to get it up and in for 2 more. 42-37. Yambi, who freshly checked into the game for Tyson Inget, running the point this time up the court. Tetons get it to Massey. Backdoor to Yambi with the left-handed layup. Ben Yambi now with 5. Freedom Leon said to come into the game. He'll spell Sterling underneath unless Coach Herman, who's toyed with the idea of putting them both on in the court, decides to do so. Tough angle shot by Davis. No good. It'll be pulled down by Sterling. He'll walk it up the court himself, then flip it over to Yambi across the timeline with 4:30 left to go. Tropnots also set to check in. Yambi driving, swings it over to Massey up on top. Massey loses the handle off to Sterling, turns the corner. Here comes the freight train. Rex Sterling, up, no good. It'll be pulled down by Aju. Aju racing the court now. Behind his back, he'll dribble. He'll jump stop, put the high angle off the glass, and a tough play by Aju going coast to coast. Tetons got to stop the big man in transition. Sterling looks a little gassed out on the floor. Makai Marks also set to come in. Here comes Hobbs. Hobbs driving. High angle. He was hit on the play. Still no call for the Tetons. Back up the court comes the Royals. They keep it alive somehow. Out to Davis on the wing. He'll fire from range. That's in and out. No good. He pulled down by Olsen. Closing down on 3.5 left to go. A 5-point game, 44-39. Yambi working up the court. He'll hand it off to Hobbs on top of the perimeter. Now over to Olsen. Olsen swing pass to Yambi. Looking down low, nothing there. Screen from Sterling. All over the body of Yambi. And there's going to be a foul called finally. This one looks like it may go on Davis, and it will. It's his second. That'll be free throws coming for Yambi. As the Tetons will be making some subs. Sterling coming out of the game, as is Massey. In is coming Marks and Leon. Aju coming out of the game with Tropnos checking back in. At the line now for a pair is Ben Yambi. Yambi's first of the 1-and-1 on the way is good. He'll have one more coming. Has a chance to push the lead back up to 7. Tetons have led by double digits a couple times. Their first one when it was 24-14. Next one on the way from Yambi is good as well. 2 for 2 from the stripe. 46-39. Back up the court comes Davis. Davis wheels his way around. He's going to high angle off the glass. No good. Tipped around. Marks saves it from going out of bounds. Gets into the hands of Hobbs. Off to Yambi. Now who will push it up the court? Yambi drives, crosses over on Miller. Swings it to the baseline to Marks. Marks for a corner three. In it goes. Mackay Marks now with 9 in the game. 3 triples for Mackay. Back up the court comes Davis, driving on Olsen, cut off on the low post. Out will go on the outside, three-pointer coming. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound comes down. It'll be put back up and in. Hoop in the harm called on Hobbs. And Eden can't believe it, and Coach Herman can't believe it either. The bucket went in. So Hobbs picks up his second. And after making the bucket, Payne will now have a chance to make a 3-point play. As the Tetons had pushed the lead back out to 10 points. Now it's down to 8 with a chance to make it 7 once again if Payne can complete the 3-point play. Madingue set to come in for the Royals. Here comes the free throw. That's in and out, no good. Leon will pull it down, and he's going to be whistled for the travel. Coming down with the loose ball. So a quick turnover. And it looks like they wave off the Lake Region waves off the substitution that was set to come in. Maybe a little offense for defense here in the final 3 minutes on the American State Bank scoreboard. 2:50 left to go in the half. Davis has it on the far wing, looking to drive on Yambi. Bounce pass over to Lee. Lee takes off on Olsen. Olsen with the rejects, and Hobbs comes down with it. He'll slow things down now. He's going to push it up the court for Williston State. One-on-one with Tropnos. He'll peel back. Poked away by Lee. One-on-one with Yambi. Yambi goes for the block. I say thee nay. It's a block party here in the Well in Williston. 2:29 left to go. Tetons saying no easy buckets. Kindle set to come in now for the Tetons. Kindle will come in for Hobbs. Kindle also a very athletic defensive guard. He has a propensity to get a couple of screens. Inbound coming from the far corner for the Royals. They get it up on top to Payne. Payne waiting. Tropnos set a high screen. Marks does a good job fighting around it. Cut off. Turn around. Hook shot is going to be up. No good. Marks got hooked by Tropnos. No foul call. Kindle gets it. Long pass up to Leon. Leon one-on-one with Lee. Couldn't handle the dribble. He loses it. Miller picks it up. Back comes a break for the Royals. Now it's going to be Davis who has to peel out. Gets it into the corner to Lee. Lee looking to drive. He had a wide open Tropnos. No good. Olsen with the rebound. Will put it on the deck and push it up for the Tetons. 2 minutes left to go. Will driving at the elbow. Underneath to Kindle. Kindle makes a good move. Gets around Tropnos and puts it up and in. Dimitri gets his first bucket of the game. Leads back up to 10. Under 2 minutes left. Here comes Payne driving. He's going to put it up and in. Long strides and a long wingspan for Alvin Payne to get that bucket to go. 8-point lead, 51-43. Kindle behind his back. He'll dribble. He'll look to drive. He's going to be hammered. And Davis throws his hands up like he didn't do anything as he had his arm wrapped around Dimitri Kindle as he was trying to put the ball up. Davis picks up his third personal. And now Mattingay is at the scores table, ready to check in with Kindle back at the stripe. Chance to push the lead back out to double digits for Williston State. First one on the way is good for Dimitri. He'll have one more coming. Davis out of the game now with Mattingay coming back in. I'll wait for Mattingay to get into the top section of the lane as Kindle's back at the line for his second of two. That one is good as well. Kindle 2 for 2 from the stripe. He has 4 points, and the Tetons are back up by a 10 spot. Now it's Lee has the ball driving. He's going to race on Olsen underneath the Tropnos, who put it up and in. Genuine Tropnos now with 10 points of his own. And there is going to be a delay of game called. So it looks like, looking away is filling out the stats. It looked like someone for the Royals tapped the ball away from a Teton player who's looking to inbound the ball. So that'll be a warning for the Royals. Any more delay of games will result in a technical foul. 53-45, 1:15 left to go. Yambi has the ball in the near wing, being guarded, double team now. Marks to Olsen for a long range three. That's going to be up, no good. Be pulled down by Miller. He'll push it up the court, gets it over to Lee. Lee looking to break down, gets the elbow, pulls up for the mid-range jumper. That's going to be good for Ron Lee. He has 5 points now in the game. 53-47, under a minute left to go. Kindle crossing over on Mattingay. Doesn't find any room to work, now spins, pulls the trigger from the elbow himself, and Kindle will knock it down. Tetons reclaim an 8-point lead. 40 seconds left to go. We'll see if it's a 2-for-1 opportunity. Three-pointer coming from the corner for Payne, and Tropnos can't hold on to it. And they're going to say it's off of the fingertips of Freedom Leon, out of bounds. 20 seconds on the shot clock. After the ball hit the rim, it'll be a reset now underneath for the Royals. They still can look. They can't quite now go for a 2-for-1, but they will have another opportunity. Long pass goes up on top to Tropnos. He gets it over to Lee. Crosses over on Olsen. Quick three-pointer coming. That's off the front of the iron. No good. Kindle pulls it down. 26 seconds left to go in the half. Tetons can hold on for the last shot. Kindle on the near wing. He'll pull it back. Mattingay come to put some pressure on the ball. Over to Yambi. Goes on the wing. Lee now with pressure. Lee working on Yambi. Reaching in there. Plenty of grabbing. 8 seconds left. Screen from Leon. Yambi racing around. He's going to throw it away up to Mattingay. And it's going to be a bounce pass over to Davis. Davis lays it up at the buzzer for 2. And that will make it a 6-point halftime lead for the Tetons. 55-49, back and forth. The Tetons have had the lead for the majority of the half, but they would be much more happy if they would have their lead pushed back out a little bit larger. 15 minutes up on the halftime clock. We're going to take a break so we can go get the stats and bring them back to you. We'll be back here for more Teton basketball in a few minutes.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we want you to bank your way, whether that's on the go or at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit asbt.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They're there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Save on steel outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new steel backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your steel this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Looking for reliable professional services for your business? Look no further than One Core Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydrochloric acid, or bulk chemicals, we've got you covered. One Core Services tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your production to the next level? Call us today at 701-774-1105. One Core Services, LLC, your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, housing lender.
For more than 70 years, Expanse Electrical Company has delivered market-leading electrical, power, and automation expertise. Built upon a legacy of technology, quality, and craftsmanship. They are confident that they have the best team in the industry, and welcome the opportunity to serve you. A proud member of the Williston community, Expanse continually works to build a better future for their company, their craftsmen, and their customers. They pride themselves on having one of the most efficient teams of directly employed licensed electricians and automation engineers in the industry. Interested in powering up your career? Visit expanseelectrical.com/careers to learn about their openings in the North Dakota region.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Mike and we're back here at the Well in Williston. We are at the break at halftime. Tetons have a 6-point lead, 55-49 over Lake Region State College and the Royals. We'll take a look at scoring first for the Royals. Poet Davis, Alvis Payne, and Genuine Trotnas, each with 10 points here at the break. 6 points coming in from Akok Ayu. 5 points from Ron Lee off the bench. 3 coming off the bench for both Albert Wellington and Josh Miller off a couple of three-pointers. And Bronson Chambers with 2 points in the game. Shooting percentages in the first half for the Royals. They went 19 of 43 from the field for 44%, 3 of 10 from deep, and 8 of 13 from the line. The Royals pulled down 16 total rebounds, 13 defensive, 3 offensive. They're led in rebounding by Aju, who has 4 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, just 5 turnovers, and 7 personal fouls in the half. They do have a little bit of foul trouble. Davis has 3 fouls in both Aju and Trotnas with 2 apiece. Well, the foul counter here on the score sheet appears to have a different story, but we will see if we have some adjustments made. We'll have to text down to the scores bench to see if we can get an accurate foul count. Looking over at the Tetons, they're led in scoring by Richard Massey, who has 13.5. Rex Sterling with 10. 7 points from Ben Yambi. 9 from Makai Marks. 6 from Dimitri Kindle. 4 coming from Freedom Leon, 2 from Eden Hobbs, and 2 from Josiah McDonald. McDonald had to see a significant portion of that half on the bench with some foul trouble of his own. McDonald and Sterling for starters, each with 2 fouls, as well as Hobbs and Leon with 2 apiece for Williston State. Shooting percentages for the Tetons in the game. They shot 21 of 40 from the field for 52%, 7 of 17 from deep for 41%, and 6 of 9 from the stripe for 66%. 27 total rebounds, 21 defensive, 6 offensive. They're a plus 11 rebounding in that first half. They're led in rebounding by Sterling. He has 8, with 5 of them coming on the offensive end. 14 assists led by Ingots, 5. No steals, 2 blocks, 8 turnovers, and 9 personal fouls committed. Looking at some of the advanced stats, points in the paint, Lake Region up on that one, 26-24. Points off turnovers, Tetons have the lead 9-8. Second chance points, Tetons 9-4. Bench points, Tetons 28-11. There's been 1 tie, 7 lead changes. Last field goal came at a buzzer beater for the Royals. That was Alvin Payne, who got a steal and a layup just as time expired. And the Tetons scored theirs last possession with 45 seconds left to go. Largest lead of the game came for Lake Region, but was 4 points with 18:48 left to go in the first. They jumped out to a 4-0 quick, or a 6-2 lead. And the largest lead by the Tetons has been met a couple of times, but not surpassed, was 10 points. The last time the Tetons, or the first time the Tetons achieved that, was at the 11:57 mark. Each time the Tetons looked to go on a run to really balloon that 10-point lead out, the Royals make a big push back and get it within 4 or 6 points. And we're currently sitting at 6 points here at halftime. 55-49 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Just over 4.5 minutes left to go before we get started with the second half here from Williston. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get you going for start of half number 2. You're listening to Teton Basketball exclusively all season long on the Williston State YouTube page.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we want you to bank your way, whether that's on the go or at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit asbt.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Kasasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Mike, we're back here at the Well in Williston. We do have some interesting updates from around the WDA. Dakota College at Pondo women's team was able to come back from a 7-point halftime deficit and beat NDSCS. That means the Tetons are currently your leader in the conference on the women's side, as the Tetons in at 7-2 have a half-game lead over Bismarck State, who's in at 6-2. They also have the tiebreaker over Bismarck State, beating them both home and away. NDSCS coming in at now 7-3, and Lake Region State at 7-3 as well. So a big shakeup on top of the women's side of the Mondac Conference. Taking a peek at some of the other games that happened or are currently happening. It is United Tribes beat Miles 68-40. The only other game that is in the books as of right now. Over other games happening on the men's side, United Tribes in a fist fight with Miles Community College, 54-52, Tribes up on top. And then Dawson on top of Bismarck State College in women's basketball, 56-42, so a 14-point lead with 4:33 left to go in the third quarter. And if the Buccaneers were able to hold on to that one, that would not only be their first conference win of the season, but it would knock Bismarck State down to be tied even with both NDSCS and Lake Region State. So the Tetons now in the driver's seat when it comes to hosting their conference tournament. The regular season champion gets the conference tournament to host. So big advantage there. Both teams now back out on the court as we're getting ready to go. Tetons coming out with their starting five, as is Lake Region State. So it's Ingot, McDonald, Johnson, Massey, and Sterling. Tetons have the ball to start. McDonald has it. Bounce pass underneath. It's going to be tipped away from Sterling, and they're going to say it's touched last by Trope Nozzle. Give it back to Williston State here with 19:52 left to go in the half. Ingot set to trigger from the far sideline. Gets it to Johnson. Back to Ingot. High screen coming. Pick and roll. Nothing there. Back to Johnson. Three-pointer from Ian. Got it to go. That's his first shot of the game. He knocks it down to put put the Royals up as they back up the court now. Come the Royals. Payne has it over on the wing. Up to Tropnos. He'll get it over to Aju. Back to Payne. Surveying. He's looking to drive on Inget. Spins in the paint, and they're going to get a foul on Inget there. They say they got him on the wrist. So another quick foul called on the Tetons. That's number 2 on Tyson. First team foul on Williston State. So on the court now, the Tetons have Sterling, Inget, and McDonald each with 2. And Alvin Payne at the stripe. First one is going to be up and good. 58-52, 6-point lead. Massey gets it off to McDonald. McDonald a catch and shoot 3 from the wing. That's no good. Tropnos can't pull it down. It'll land into the hands of Davis. He'll push it up the court for Lake Region. And it's going to be a block by McDonald into the hands of Johnson. He's going to bounce it up to Massey. Massey holds up at the perimeter. Didn't have anyone in transition to help him. McDonald to Inget. Inget swings it back to McDonald, who's going to take off. And they're going to say Josiah was on the end line when he took off on the drive. So another turnover for the Tetons. They look to shore that up and keep the lead here. 18:53 left to go. The Royals, a very flashy team out on the court. There's a steal by Massey. He's off to the races now. 1-on-1. He's going to lay it up and in. Past Chambers. Massey with 2 more. He has 15 to lead all scorers in the game. Now Payne back up the court. Looking for Tropnos on the high post. Sterling doing a good job defensively. He's going to throw it up, and that one will go in. So Payne with another big bucket. Back up the court now comes Lake Region. Massey on the drive. He's going to get it out to Johnson. Johnson gets down low. He'll go through reverse layup with English, and it's going to be pulled down by Sterling. He puts it up and in. 2 more for Rex. So Rex with a big bucket there for the Tetons. And back up the court comes Lake Region. Up on top. It will go now to Chamber. Chamber looking to drive on Massey. Massey slipped and fell. Back up on top. It'll go to Tropnos. He'll fire the straightaway 3. That's no good. Now back up the court comes McDonald. McDonald looking to drive. He'll drive through in the corner to Johnson. A little bit of congestion for the Tetons. They get it back to McDonald. Bounce pass to Inget. Wide open look. Tyson knocks it down. His first bucket of the game. Tetons now up by 11. Their largest lead of the game so far. Back up the court come the Royals. Aju from way downtown. That's no good. It's going to be pulled down. Coach Marshall shaking his head after that shot. McDonald driving out on top to Sterling. Gives up an open look to Massey. Drives through. Going to put it up and in. Richard Massey with a tough drive in the lane. And there's going to be a timeout called by the Royals. He's going for some full sail changes, and he is not happy out on the court. It's a full one. We'll take a full one ourselves. Back in 1 minute.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They're there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Kasasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw. Built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
So 5 starters off the bench, 5 reserve players in. Here comes a drive, and that's going to be sent over to Madigan. Madigan on the drive. Inget was ready to take a charge. So tall pass going to be stolen away by the Tetons. Back comes up Sterling, over to McDonald on the wing, and they're going to say McDonald again on the sideline. Coach Herman right there to see it, and just a little bit off the mark for McDonald, who will turn it back over. Into the game for the first time, Remy Warrington. As he'll get it off to Manning Day, back to Warrington across the timeline. 13-point lead for the Tetons. They're largest of the game. Warrington, little hezzy dribble. He's going to swing it. Intercepted by Massey. Here comes a run-out bounce pass to Inget with the layup up and in. Tyson Inget with 2 more. He has 5 in the game. 15-point lead. Lee pulls up for a wild 2-point shot in transition, and he's going to knock down the mid-range jumper. Makes it 69-56. Back comes Johnson. Johnson onto the wing, out to Massey. Look underneath. And there's going to be a hold called on Miller, as Miller was trying to do everything he could to lock down Sterling in the low post. It'll be number 1 on Miller. First team foul on the Royals here in the second half. 16:23 left to go in the game. Inbound play coming for the Tetons. Underneath, they'll go to Sterling. He'll be in the low post. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson on the baseline. Drive on Mattingay. He's going to push it into the corner. Now Inget tries to flip it through. He's going to be corralled. He's going to lose it out. Let's see. They're going to say Inget just lost it in between his legs, not touched by anybody or helped out at all, so they'll give it back to the Royals. 16-12 left to go. Tetons still up by 13 with his secondary unit out on the court. Wellington has it up on top, looking to drive on McDonald. He uses a wild shot, will somehow drop into the bucket for Wellington. Back up comes McDonald. He's had a slow night. See if he can start cooking here in the second. Massey weaving his way along the perimeter, driving all the way, and now he's going to be fouled on the drive. Tetons wanted it and one. They're going to call it on the ground. That foul's going to go on Wellington. It'll be his first personal, second team. Inget will come out of the game. Yambi checking in. Yambi now set to inbound the ball for Williston State. They pack in along the paint. Sterling calling it for up top. He gets the tall pass in the paint underneath to Johnson, who puts it up and in. What a dime by Sterling. Tetons up 71-58. Back up the court comes Lee. Lee with some fancy dribbling will cross over on Yambi in the corner. 3-pointer coming from Miller. That's going to be off the mark. No good. And there's going to be a foul called now on number 5, Warrington. It'll be number 1 on Warrington. Hobbs will check into the game now for the Tetons. He'll come in for Johnson. And also, Mekhi Marks will be coming into the game for Massey. So the Tetons substituting because they know there's going to be 5 very disgruntled starters to come back on the court for Lake Region. Now Yambi marches it up the court for the Tetons. He pushes over into the near corner, and there's going to be a hand-checking foul called on Warren, so he'll pick up a quick second foul. And the official made the hand signal to Coach Marshall to say, hey, he had 2 hands on him at the same time, and that's a no-no in the world of basketball, so quick. There are 4 fouls now on Lake Region State. McDonald coming to pick up the inbound pass. He'll have it on the near wing. High screen coming. He'll get it off to Yambi. He has to race to save it from going out of bounds. Yambi one-on-one with Miller. Into the corner for Marks. Mekhi knocks it down. The 4th 3-pointer of the game for Mekhi Marks. He has 12 points. Tetons up 74-58 on the American State Bank scoreboard. 5:08 left to go in the game. Warrington into the corner for Miller. He's cut off by Sterling, looking to go for the baseline drive. Nothing there. Up it'll go to Wellington. Wellington now jump stop. He's going to be blocked by Yambi. Yambi looking to dribble free. He'll hand it off to Hobbs. Hobbs pushed it up the court, picked up by Wellington. Hands it off to McDonald on the wing. McDonald slides through, hits the brakes, goes for a second effort. He's going to go high angle, no good. Tipped up in the air. It'll be Miller who comes down with it. He's going to be corralled. Now gets it off to Wellington. Wellington off to Lee on the wing. Lose the handle. He's going to lose it. Sterling dives on the ball, gets it up to Hobbs. Out it goes to McDonald. McDonald flies, and he's going to be hit as he goes up. He hits the rim. Loose ball now. Wellington comes away with it. He's going to push it into the corner. Here comes Warrington. Now underneath it'll go to Wellington. He kicks it back out to Warrington, who will catch and shoot the 3. That's going to be an air ball. Miller with the rebound. The shot clock reset when it shouldn't have. And the officials are going to catch that. So we will have a sub coming in now for Warrington. It will be Aju coming in, and also Sterling coming out with Leon coming in. And also Will Olson for Williston State coming in for McDonald. So McDonald had a tough sledding day from the field. As they look to get him going, they'll need his production here late. Inbound play coming. They get it into Miller. 15 on the shot clock. Up on top. Wellington for a three. Off the back of the iron. No good. Leon with the board. Here comes Olson up the court for the Tetons. Head of steam for Will. He'll pull back at the perimeter. Looking down low. Nothing there. Hobbs now will fire from range. Got it to go. Will Hobbs gets in on the long-range barrage as the Tetons are up 19 points. Lee tries his hand from range. That one's going to be off the side of the iron. No good. It'll go out of bounds as Ajou collided into a couple of Tetons and it hit off of Hobbs' foot and out. Mudding will check out of the game now with Payne coming in for the Royals. Tetons up 77-58. 13:48 left to go. Wellington looking to inbound the ball. He'll get it to Miller on the perimeter. Miller looking for Ajou on the low post. Ajou has to be careful to get away from a hook. Hooking Leon the whole time. Now a drive from Payne. He gets to the hoop and he'll get it to drop. Alvin Payne so good as he gets to the rim, and the Tetons commit another foul, just their second of the half. That one's going to go on Mackay Marks, just his first personal. But another and one made by Alvin Payne, and he'll go to the line for one shot to try to complete another three-point play. Free throw is going to hit every part of the iron and drop in there for Payne. Yambi now with the ball. He'll flip it off to Hobbs, who pushed it across the timeline. Tetons up 16 points, 77-61. Olson gets a seat, takes the three, and that's not going to hit anything as kind of winces he took that one as he knew he had a wide open look and rushed it a little bit. So go out of bounds back to the Royals. Tetons have a lead, but they can't get complacent with how dynamic this Lake Region State offense can be. Now Alvin Payne back up the court. Little shimmy to shake. He's going to drive. Lose the ball. Leon's going to pick it up. He gets it ahead to Hobbs. Hobbs a little bit too hard on the bounce pass. And that'll go out of bounds. So the Tetons are being their own worst enemy out on the court right now, having a bit of a turnover bug as they look to shore that one up. Closing in on 13 minutes left to go. Still a bunch of times Williston State needs to fight hard every minute to secure the win. Here comes a drive by Wellington. He kicks it out to Lee on the wing. Lee drives on Yambi. Step back jumper. That's going to be in and out. No good. And there'll be a foul called on Miller. And to add insult to injury, he takes a big forearm from his teammate going for a rebound. Miller will pick up his second personal. Fifth team foul in the half. And still on the bench, Coach Marshall for the Royals, just unpleased with how some of his effort guys are out on the court. Hobbs now has it for the Tetons. Gets it off to Olson. Little shimmy and shake for Will. Gets it off to Yambi. Yambi going to blow by Lee. He's cut off by Miller. Gets it up to Marks. Marks bobbles back to Yambi. Baseline drive against Miller. Tries to go up and under. Nothing there. It'll be tipped around into the hands of Payne. Tetons got a little bit too fancy. Payne driving. Tipped away by Olson. Saved by Hobbs. It'll go back to Davis. Gets it underneath. Throws it up and in. Davis picks up the garbage and puts it back in. 77-33. 14-point game. Tetons have led by as many as 19. Yambi pushing it back up the court. Gets a step on Lee. He's going to drive up. There's the layup up and in by Yambi. He now has 9 points. Much needed bucket for the Tetons. They're back up by 16. Couple more subs set to come in. Lee now looking to spin on Yambi. He's done a great job as a wing defender. Davis looking to drive, and that one is going to be put up and a roll off the rim. No good. Pulled down by Hobbs. Hobbs looking to push the pace. Doesn't have any numbers. He'll slow things down. Loses the dribble. Picks it up over in the corner to Leon. Leon's going to try a corner three. Got it to go. Freedom, Leon. And his coach telling him to, hey, let's get back on defense now as the Tetons are back up by 19. Under 12 minutes left to go in the game. Davis gets it. Going to be cut off by Hobbs in the paint. They're going to call a foul on Eden Hobbs. That'll be his third personal. Third team foul. As now two players from each team are set to come into the game. It is Miller and Lee checking out. Davis as well as Chambers checking in. Hobbs and Yambi out for Williston State. Coming into the game is Kindle as well as Carson Hare. In the corner now, Davis has the ball. Bounce pass underneath to Ajou. He's going to lose the ball. Olsen will pick it up. He'll look to push and get across the timeline. No one there. Swing pass over to Hare on the wing. Hand up, try to force a bullet pass, and it'll be tipped out of bounds by Ayu. And now it'll be Teton ball underneath their own basket as they come together to see what play Coach Herman wants for them. Here with 12:22 left to go in the game on the American State Bank scoreboard. Hare calls for action. Olsen flashes out to the wing. They get it into Kindle. Catch and shoot. Floater up, no good. Kindle just about came down to the offensive rebound. He got around the big man, but couldn't hold on to it. We'll give it back to Lake Region. Now Tropnos back to the scorer's table to check back in. All 5 starters back in now for Lake Region State after their punitive sent to the bench by Coach Marshall. Chambers coming back up the court for the Royals. Hands it off to Aju. Out of the wing, Davis. Now gets it underneath. Back up to Payne from Davis. Payne again looking to drive. He'll try to slide through. Going to lose the ball up in the air. No travel called. And he'll still get on the low post. Throws one up. No good. Pulled down by Olsen. Will push it back up the court. He'll be guarded by Tropnos. Gets a seam. Takes a bump. And no foul called there. Will was bodied the whole way up the court. Out will go to Davis now. Driving on Hare. Hare throws a wild... Davis throws a wild behind his back shot up, and he gets that one to drop. Now 82-65. Carson Hare bringing it back up the court for Wilson State. Kindle up on top. Gets it to Marks. Mackay for 3. That's off the front of the iron. No good. Tetons taking some early shots here in possessions in the second. Over onto the wing now, Davis. Davis looking for Tropnos, who's calling for an over-the-top pass. Freedom caught an elbow to the eye. Back up on top. It'll go to Davis. 15 on the shot clock. And there's going to be a foul called on Kindle. He'll pick up his first personal, 4th team foul. Tetons giving extended rest to Sterling, McDonald, and Massey on the bench. All second unit players out on the court for Williston State. Pass goes into the backcourt to Alvin Payne. They look to try to drive, split a couple of defenders, and there's going to be a foul called on Will Olsen. Will pick up his first personal, as Payne has just been trying to do it himself, as he has been a monster on the floor here, especially in the second half. The Tetons still hold on to an 82-65 lead. See if they can't get a stop here and push that lead back out. They've had a 19-point lead a couple of times. Good defense on the inbound play for the Tetons. They get it into Oju, working on Kindle. Oju got up in the air, and he's going to be fouled by Marks. So Mackay will pick up his second personal. 3 fouls now on this same possession down the court, and that will be the 6th team foul. It'll send Akok Aju to the stripe for a 1-and-1. That's the last foul that the Tetons had to give. The Royals have one more left to give here in the game. Aju with 6 points, looking to extend that out. Here comes his first of 2. That'll be up and good. Makes it out 82-66, 16-point lead for the Tetons. A chance for Aju to chip it down to 15 if he can knock down the second half of his 2-shot bonus. Aju at the line for his next of 2. That one is going to be off the back of the iron, no good. Tipped around, it's going to be pulled down by Mark. Gets it into Leon, pushed it ahead to Olsen. Olsen one-on-one, up with Chambers. He'll slow things down, he'll go to Kindle. Kindle looking to drive. He gets into the body of Tropnos, and a very late foul is called. That'll be number 3 on Tropnos with 9:57 left to go. So a big decision now for Coach Marshall, as it'll be 2 shots coming for Dimitrick. He has a chance to push the lead out to 18 for Williston State. We are 3 ticks over halfway through this second half. 9:57 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Tetons up 82-66. Dimitrick with his first one. That one's going to be short off the front of the rim. No good. He'll have one more coming. Just about 2 minutes of game time ago, it was a 5-1 foul advantage for the Tetons. Now both teams with 6 apiece. And Kindle will knock down his second of 2. It pushes the lead out to 17, 83-66. Up the court comes Lake Region State. Chambers pushing the tempo. He's going to look to turn the corner and try to drive. Cut off the board, up and in. Bronson Chambers with the bucket. The Tetons now are going to bring 5 starters back onto the court. Hare has the ball. He'll hand it off to Kindle. Kindle, step back. 3-pointer on the way. Off the front of the iron. No good. Pulled down by Davis. He looks to push it. 3-on-2 up the court. Davis into the corner for 3, and that one will be good. Poet Davis with the triple. Down to a 12-point lead now for the Tetons. Hare across the timeline. He's looking to take off on the drive, and he's going to be fouled. The shot went in, but they're going to say does not count. And that foul is going to go on Davis. That's, I believe, his fourth. So fourth personal. That'll send Carson Hare to the stripe. So everyone out except for Hare. As he'll take a couple of shots from the line. Ian Johnson, Rex Sterling, Josiah McDonald, and Richard Massey checking into the game. Carson misses his first shot. No good. Rebounded by Lake Region. Back at the court come the Royals. They have a chance to make it a 10 or 9 point game. And there's going to be a foul called on Johnson in the low post. As now that substitution will allow Hare to come into the game. Or Ingot to come into the game for Hare. At the line, Aju now with a chance to bring it down to a 10-point game if he can knock down both halves of the two-shot foul. First foul committed on Johnson. Aju with the first, knocks it down, makes an 11-point contest. Tetons have outscored Lake Region 28-25 here so far in this second half. Lake Region starting to storm back at the Tetons, hit a 19-point lead a couple of times. Aju with the stripe to try to make it a 10-point game. Taking his time with a couple extra dribbles. Here comes 2 of 2. That one is going to be off, no good. McDonald pulls down the board, gets it off to Ingot. Tyson will slow things down as he pushes it up the court. Hands it, no, he's going to curl around, gets it off to Massey on the wing. Massey looking to get it into the corner for McDonald, gets the blow by, step back, three-pointer, Rainmaker, got it to go. Josiah with a big dribble for Williston State. Push the lead up to 14, 86-72. Back of the court now comes Davis. He'll swing it into the corner to Payne. Payne with a jump hook underneath. It'll go, no good. Shot by Tropnos, pulled down by Ingot. Tyson marching up the court. He'll cross the timeline. Teton looking to extend. Tyson on the drive, and he's going to be called for the offensive foul. Coach Herman doesn't like that one. They're calling Tyson for the elbow. He had his arm hooked as he was trying to spin in the paint. It'll be a turnover, but no free throws coming. That's number 3 on Tyson. 8.5 minutes left to go. Tetons up by 14. Chambers calling for a high screen. Tropnos doesn't set a good one. Now Chambers in no man's land. Massey had him in a bucket. Here comes Davis driving on McDonald. And Davis able to get to the rack and lay it in. 12-point lead for the Tetons. Here comes McDonald back up the court for Williston State. He'll wait to get the play call. Over to go to Johnson. Johnson to the catch and shoot. Off the mark, no good. Massey tips it up right to Sterling, and Sterling's going to be fouled on the way up. Who's it's going to go on? There's both Chambers and Tropnos in the area. There's going to go on Chambers. So he will pick up his third personal. 8th team foul, so now both Chambers and Tropnos with 3. Davis with 4, all on the court for Lake Region for the Tetons. Ingot has the most with 3, and then Sterling and McDonald with 2 apiece. Sterling gets his first one to drop in there. 87-74. Chance to push it back out to a 14-point lead. Much needed free throw here for Sterling and Williston State. Rex's next one is going to be up and good as well. 16 points in the game for Rex. 88-74. 8 minutes left to go. Long pass over to the corner to Davis. Davis looking to drive on McDonald. 2 dynamic guards, and there's going to be a tip pass out of bounds by Ingot. So Tyson guarding that baseline to avoid the swing pass in the corner to Payne. Tetons now looking to lock down defensively. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers set to inbound the ball from his own baseline. Everyone covered up, waiting to get open. No one open. Finally, they get it into Aju. He's going to bully himself down underneath. Stolen away by Massey. Gets it up to McDonald. Here comes Joe. He's going to step back at the three-pointer. Wide open look. No good. Sterling with the board. He's going to put it up and in. Rex Sterling got it to go. 2 more. He has 18. Tetons up by 16. 90-74. Now here comes the defender. There's Ingot now with a strip. Tyson's going to slow things down. He'll get it to Massey. Back to Tyson. He'll push it up across the timeline, beating the 10-second by a few seconds. McDonald now at the top of the perimeter. looking to break down on the defender. Swings it over to Tyson. Tyson looking to drive. He's going to swing it through over to Massey. Massey with an open look for three. Richard, no good. Tyson with the offensive board. Tyson in the corner to JoJo. JoJo drives, hangs, floats. Bang! Got it to go. McDonald, the big floater in the mid-range area. Tetons up by 18, 92-74. 7 minutes left to go. Here comes Payne breaking down on Inget, and it's going to... A foul came whistled well before contact, and they're going to call Inget on it. So that's Tyson now with 4 fouls, and we have a substitution coming in for Lake Region. We have a media timeout, our first stoppage under 8 minutes. 6:57 left to go in the second half. Tetons have an 18-point lead, 92-74. Free throws coming when we come back from this 1-minute timeout.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
We're back here. Alvin Payne knocked down the first of his 2 free throws. The second one is going to be on the way. That one is good as well. That'll make it now 92-76. 16-point lead for Williston State. Under 7 minutes left to go in the game. Inget crossing over, he'll hand it off to Massey on the wing. Massey looking to drive. He's going to use his big frame, and he'll be called for the offensive foul. An absolutely ludicrous call again on the court. Coach Herman just kind of has no idea what to think after that call, as it'll be McDonald coming out of the game with Yambi coming in. That foul will go back up the court. No foul registered. And here comes a drive by Chambers. That's going to be off, but Tropnos, he puts it back up. He can't get it to go. He looking to get it off. Cut off in the paint. He's going to be stripped by McDonald, and they're going to call a foul on McDonald. So McDonald will pick up his 3rd personal, and that'll send Tropnos back to the stripe. As Tropnos now at the line for 2. He has 10 points in the game. 6.5 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. His first half of the 1-1 is going to be good. We'll have one more coming. Royals in the double bonus. They have one more foul left to give before they put the Tetons there. Coach Herman talking to the officials. Hey, what about some of these calls we've seen as of late? Second one from Tropnos. That is going to be good. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Last 4 points for the Royals have come from the stripe. It's a 4-0 run to make it a 14-point game, 92-78. Yambi pounding the rock. He'll get it over to McDonald. Hands it off to Massey. Massey back to Johnson in the corner. Johnson looking underneath for Sterling. Sterling got a good position on Tropnos. Drop step. Gets it underneath. Reverse layup. Up and in. Rex Sterling now up to 20. 94-78. Long pass. Going to go over onto the wing. Looking to work their way around. Ron Lee back into the game for the Royals. Here comes a drive by Davis. There's going to be offensive foul called. If that's Davis, that's his 5th, and it may just be. So Davis fouls out of the game with 5:51 left to go. He'll come out of the game with Okokaju coming in. Inbound play now for the Tetons, as that was the 9th team foul. Tetons will be also shooting double bonus the rest of the way. Johnson gets it in the middle of the paint, out to McDonald. JoJo, step back, got him in the air, back out to McDonald. Ian's going to drive. He has it poked away. Loose ball on the court, picked up by Massey, and there's going to be a kick ball called. It'll give it back to Lake Region State. So some fits and starts for both teams here as we come down the home stretch. 94-78, Tetons up by 16 points. Payne looks to enter the ball. He'll get it over into Chambers. Calling out a play as he marches it up the court. Tetons now looking to lock down defensively. Chambers got away with a forearm shiver on Massey. High post to Okoke. And they're going to call a foul on Johnson. So Ian with good defensive position. He has a right to be there defensively, and he's going to be called for the foul. Oh, and by the way, the shot by Ajou was able to drop in there, and there's going to be a timeout called by Lake Region State. It's now a 14-point game. Ajou will have a chance to go to the stripe to shoot one to make it a 13-point game, 94-80. Here with 5:31 left to go. It's a half a minute timeout on the court. We're going to keep it right here. But started off as a fast-paced, they were going to let him play kind of half, and then all of the sudden, the faucet just got turned on as far as fouls go. Well, the boys in stripes making sure their presence is going to be felt here this afternoon. Maybe they feel they'll be overshadowed by the boys in stripes doing officiating work this evening in the game. So it'll be Okoke Ajou at the stripe now for one shot to try to complete the three-point play. Ajou at the line for one shot. Put it up, and that one will be off the back of the iron, and there's going to be a whistle. A lane violation called. So, not sure who it was on. And now will come officially now the 20th free throw shot in the game for Lake Region. Ajou at the line for one shot. This one is going to be good. A little bit of pressure now coming for the Royals. McDonald hit the brakes, now picked up his dribble, looking to get across the timeline, finds Sterling. Sterling back to McDonald, through a Euro step, flips it out to Johnson. Up it'll go to Yambi, slow things down to Massey. Tetons eating some clock. McDonald went for the oop, but the ball hit the rim, gives it back to Lake Region State. Over on the perimeter it'll go now, three-pointer coming, and that'll be splashed in there from Ron Lee, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game. Yambi now with the ball. Here comes full court press for Lake Region. In the middle of the paint to Johnson. Gets it off to Sterling. Sterling driving on Tropnos. Gets Tropnos up in the air. No foul called as Sterling gets hammered. Session now going. He gets it off to Tropnos, who loses the ball. Johnson in transition. Getting a step. He has a couple defenders behind him, and he's going to be stripped away by Payne. Coach Herman out of his mind that wasn't a foul called on Tropnos, and he had every right to be. 4:44 left to go, still a 10-point game. Tetons now looking to hang on and survive this one. Inbound pass, timeout going to be called by Yambi to avoid a 5-second call. It's going to be a short timeout called on the court by Coach Herman. We're going to take a short one ourselves, back in half a minute.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mike and we're back here for Teton basketball exclusively all season long on the Williston State YouTube channel. Tetons have a 10-point lead, 94-84. 4:44 left to go in the game. Long pass out to Massey. Quick corner three from Massey. Got it to go. Huge shot. Massey now with 20 in the game. 13-point lead for the Tetons. Inbound pass goes to Chambers. He'll get it back to Lee, who will push it up the court. Lee hit a big three-pointer as he gets it back to Chambers on the wing. Now to Ajou. Ajou looking to drive. He'll pick it up at the high post. Going to be stripped by Johnson. Here comes Yambi up the court. Yambi driving. He's going to be stripped. That'll be Johnson. Will pick it back up. Flips it off to McDonald. Big fake by McDonald. Gets it off to Massey. Massey takes a bump, and there's going to be a block now called on Payne. That'll be 2 free throws coming for Richard Massey. Demetra Kindle also at the scorer's bench for Williston State, set to check in with 4:13 left to go. That foul is just number 1 on Payne. Both teams now in the double bonus. Massey at the stripe for his first of 2. That one is going to be good. So now it will be Kindle into the game for Johnson. Ian played so well here down this stretch, especially on the defensive end. And now he'll get a break on the bench for Kindle to try to keep up the work. Massey at the stripe for his second of 2. Lead is back out to 14. Chance to make it 15 if he can knock this one down. No good. Rebound by Sterling. He's going to pull it out onto the wing. Up it'll go now again. Circling it around. Kindle for a three-pointer, and that one's going to be good. And there's going to be a foul called on the ground, and they're going to call Sterling for a foul. So the basket is good by Kindle, and that puts him up to 10 points in the game. The Tetons now up 101-84, and Sterling will pick up his 4th foul. Up the court now comes Lee. It's going to be tipped away by Massey, but it'll be grabbed by Chambers. Chambers now looking to break down on Massey. Great defense by Richard. Gets in the body. It'll be fouled by Massey. That'll be his second. That'll send Chambers to the stripe for a pair of shots. So 2 more shots coming for Bronson Chambers. Just 4 points for Chambers in the game as he goes the line for a pair. 3:52 left to go in the second half. Chambers at the line for number 1. That one is up and good. Brings the ball way back behind his head as he releases the free throw. He has 1 more left to go. 16-point Teton lead, 101-85. So now the officials looking at everyone's shoes. It appears to be that Sterling was. Oh, they're looking at perspiration down in the low block area. It was Rex who pointed it out. So now we are just about to get back underway. Bronson at the stripe for his second of 2. That one on the way, and it'll rattle in there. Good to make it 101-86. McDonald's going to be stripped, has it stolen away. Here comes a pass underneath to Lee. He's going to put it back up and in. So a turnover and a bucket. Gets a long pass out as it's now 101-88. Here comes Massey. He's going to be fouled by Ajou, picking up his 3rd foul. And that will send Richard Massey to the stripe for a couple of more. Massey sitting at 21 points as he'll go to the line to try to push the lead back out. Richard at the stripe for his first of 2. That one is going to be good. So Massey having a huge game here for the Tetons, as he got the start here today. Normally for the Tetons, it is Makai Marks who comes to start, and the free throw is going to be up and no good. So Massey goes 1 for 2 from the line. Back come the Royals. Here comes Chambers. Gets it off now to Payne. Payne could be cut off on the baseline. He'll get it up to Lee. Lee crosses over. Gets to the top of the perimeter. Kicks it out to Ajou. Now to Chambers. Gets his man up in the air. Drives. Kicks into the corner. Open 3 given up by Payne, and a contested 3 by Lee from way downtown. Knocks it in there. Now an 11-point game. Yambi gets it over to McDonald. McDonald, long pass across the timeline to Massey. He'll hold on and bounce it up to Yambi. 3 minutes left to go, 102-91. Kindle has it on the perimeter, gets it over to McDonald. McDonald looks to get some space. Kindle in the low post. Lose the ball momentarily. Flips it over to Massey. Massey baseline drive. He'll get up to McDonald. McDonald for range, and that's going to be no good. It'll be pulled down by Ajou. He'll kick it off. Here comes a 2-on-3 break, and it's going to be Lee again from way downtown. He knocks it down again. Lee with his 3rd three-pointer of the half, and it's an 8-point game, 102-94. Long pass to Massey as he's going to get across the timeline. Over to Sterling on the far wing. Back to Massey. He'll get it up to Yambi. 2:22 and counting. Yambi now working around the perimeter. Reverses to Massey on the far wing. Up to Yambi. Gets it to McDonald. Looking on the baseline to Sterling. Bullet pass over to Massey. Three-pointer from the wing. That's going to be underneath everything. McDonald gets the rebound. Stolen away by Lee. He's going to come back up the court. Let's see if he goes for a heat check. Kicks it off to Payne. Payne gets the blow-by. Goes up, and he's going to be blocked. They're going to call a foul on the Tetons. Of course they are. McDonald will pick up the foul. And there's going to be a timeout called by Williston State. Chance for the Royals to make it a 6-point game. They're feverishly trying to come back in this one. 1:59 left to go. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Looking for reliable professional services for your business? Look no further than 1.4 Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydrochloric acid, or bulk chemicals, we've got you covered. 1.4 Services tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your production to the next level? Call us today at 701-774-1105. 1.4 Services, LLC, your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They're there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Micro back here. First free throw coming from Alvin Payne. Short off the front of the rim. No good. Tetons have brought back in Tyson Inget into the game for Ben-Yambi. 1:59 left to go. 102-49. 8-point lead for Williston State. Payne trying to trick that down to 7. Here comes his second of 2. That one is up and good. More full court press coming. Now Hobbs also into the game. Will get the inbound pass to Massey. Inget now across the timeline to Sterling, and Sterling passes it to Hobbs. Rex is going to be fouled. That'll be by Tropnos, his 4th personal, to send Sterling to the line for a couple of huge free throws. Rex sitting at 20 points, looking for a couple of big ones here. Rex takes his dribbles. Here comes the first one. That one will hit every part of the rim and bounce off. He'll have one more coming. Inget heads back to guard Lee to prevent a long pass and a run out for an easy shot. Here comes number 2 for 2 of Rex. That's no good. Tipped back out by Massey to Sterling. Gets it off to Massey. Tetons will slow things down. McDonald has it. Gets it up on top to Inget. Now over to Hobbs. Back to Inget. Tyson pushes it over to Massey. 10 on the shot clock. Massey driving. He's going to go. He'll be blocked. Trying to get it underneath to Sterling. Gets it into the corner to Hobbs. 3 on the shot clock. Hobbs puts it up. That's going to be put up. No good. Rebound by Massey. Puts it up. No, they hit the rim. The official got it wrong. You've got to be serious. You have to get this call right. 2 points. Finally, they got it right. Wow. That would have been an all-timer call if that one wouldn't have been counted. But they did finally. The official who made the call overruled it, and that pushes it back out to a 9-point lead. Here comes the roll ball up the court. McDonald comes and attacks the backcourt to make Payne pick it up. High screen from Tropnos. Payne driving, and a tough shot by Payne gets 2 more in there. McDonald looking to inbound, gets it to Inget. Bounce pass over to McDonald, pushes it up to Massey. He'll have a clear path to get across the timeline. He does, and he'll swing around. 1:10 left to go in the game. Inget picks up the dribble, looking for help to come get it. No one open. Inget looking to get it over to McDonald's, and there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Herman. He wants a full one. We'll take a full one ourselves. Back in 1 minute.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Mike Brewer back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Williston State up by 7 points, 104-97 over Lake Region. They have the ball, 104 left to go in the game, 17 left on the shot clock. Inbound play. Inget gets the bounce pass in from Massey up on top, and he's going to be quickly fouled by Lee. That'll be just number 1 on Lee, and it'll put Inget to the stripe. So this game has been significantly lengthened already by fouls and free throws. Looks like it may take an existential jump up as Inget's at the line for 2. First one from Tyson is going to rattle out, no good. Tyson now with another chance to push the lead up to 8 if he can knock down the second of 2. The Tetons have missed their last 3 shots from the stripe. Here comes the second one from Tyson. That one off the back as well, tipped around again. Loose ball into the corner. The Tetons now have missed their last 4 from the line. 1 minute left to go. Ajou gets it out on the wing to Lee. Close out by McDonald. And here behind the back, drives Chambers into the paint. He's going to be cut off. Finds Lee, tries to find a space. McDonald right in front of him. Calls for a screen from Trumpnos. Out onto the wing. Ajou into the corner to Chambers. Baseline drive by Chambers. And Chambers slips, and they're going to call a foul on Massey. Coach Herman just about a kettle to boil over out on the sideline as Massey picks up his 3rd personal. Yambi set to check into the game. At the line is Chambers for a couple of freebies with 39.1 seconds left to go. Chambers sitting at 6 points so far in the game. His first of 2 on the way, and that one is going to be good. So the sub made, it's Inget out and Yambi in. As Chambers has his second of 2. He puts it up and knocks that one down, makes it a 5-point game. It's going to be a timeout call by Lake Region State. 39 seconds left to go. We'll have to see if it's going to be a full timeout called by the Royals. We'll take a full one as well. We'll be back here in 1 minute.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mike Brewer back here for Teton basketball. There's a change being made in the timeout. Akoka Zhu coming out of the game. Albert Wellington coming in to give a little more speed as well as some perimeter shooting. Teton's taking every second of that full timeout called by Lake Region to make sure they're all set. Tetons bring out Sterling, Massey, Gabi, McDonald, and Hobbs. Full court press by the Royals in a 5-point game, 104-99. McDonald gets the pass into the corner. He's going to be, they're going to say it's tipped out of bounds by the Royals as McDonald was bowled over along the sideline. Tetons now inbounded again. They'll have 8 seconds to get across the timeline. 37 seconds left to go in the game. Gets it into Hobbs. Hobbs pushes up to Massey. He gets across the timeline. He'll slow things down. Massey's going to be fouled in that one. It's going to go against Chambers. It's his 3rd. That'll send Richard Massey to the stripe for a pair of free throws. No 2 bigger that he's taken as a Teton than these 2. As Miller also set to come in. He'll be coming in after the first free throw from Massey. So the Tetons have missed their last 4 from the line. Massey ends that streak as he knocks down his first of 2. Coming out of the game now is Wellington. In is Miller. He knocked down a three-pointer earlier in the game. Second of two from Massey, and that one will get home as well. Massey now with 26. 106-98, 8-point lead. Under a half a minute left to go. Chambers, three-pointer on the way, and it banks it in. Chambers, a straightaway three-pointer. Inbound pass goes to McDonald. Gets it over to Yambi. Yambi puts it on the deck, drives up the sideline. There's going to be a foul called on the Royals. 106-102. Two big free throws now coming for Ben Yambi. That foul goes against Miller. It's his third personal. As the Tetons all in the backcourt. No one back to rebound here as Yambi has a chance to push it out to a full 2-possession game. First one from Ben is going to rattle out, no good. He'll have one more coming from the line. 19.9 seconds left to go. Yambi again at the line for his second of two. That one is going to drop in there. Makes it a 107-102 5-point game. Up the court now comes Session. He's going to heave another one, and that's going to go in there. Sessions knocks down another triple. Makes it a 2-point game. McDonald bounce pass over to Yambi. He's going to be jumped on by Lee. Lee hits the deck hard, but he pops up with no worries. Now just a one-possession game. As all four Tetons besides Yambi will head over to the scores bench to talk to Coach Sterling. So we'll have to see what kind of strategy Coach Herman comes out with his four. Yambi, who just went 1 of 2 from the line. Love to knock these two and make it a 2-possession game. First one on the way will get in there, up and good for Yambi. There's going to be a timeout called by the Royals in a 3-point game. Now 108-105. We'll see if it's going to be a long one or a short one taken by Lake Region. It is going to be a full timeout. We'll be back for more Teton basketball in 1 minute.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Mike Rutter back here for Teton basketball exclusively on the Williston State College YouTube channel. Ben Yambi at the line for one shot, just coming out of the timeout. 3 of the Lake Region players already setting up down on the offensive end to get ready to go to try to shoot a tying shot here with 9.9 seconds left. Should Yambi miss his second of 2, if he makes it, it'll make it a 2-possession game. Ben at the line for one, and that's going to be off the front, rebounded by Trumnus. Here comes the Royals. Chambers brings it to the top of the perimeter, crosses over, and a three-pointer on the way. That one's going to be good. Timeout's going to be called by Williston State. A three-pointer to tie it by Chambers, up at 108 apiece. And now they're going to put a little bit of time back on the clock for the Tetons. What a comeback. The Tetons have led by as many as 19 here in the game. They're going to bring back in Wennington for Miller. And a timeout's going to be called by Williston State. 3.6 seconds left to go on the clock. So the Tetons will get one look to try and win the game at the buzzer. We're going to keep it right here so we don't miss a fraction of a second of action. Neither team has any fouls left to give. The Tetons have one timeout left. Lake Region State has none. We'll have to see what both head coaches can draw up. If the Tetons can't get the bucket to drop, we're headed for some overtime basketball here from the Well in Williston. So the assistant coach now for the Royals is talking to the officials about how much time was put back on the clock. as Chambers dropped it there. About a second and a half ticked away, and that does put it in the range of 3.6. So wherever it's actually at, it will be give or take a tenth of a second. As the Tetons now have the ability to advance the ball. And it looks like they will not advance the ball to the timeline. Tetons go 4 wide across the timeline. Hobbs lone inbounding it. McDonald comes and picks it up. He's racing. Under 3 seconds left. McDonald from way downtown. Off the mark. No good. And we're headed to overtime here in Williston. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and they'll put some fresh time up on the clock. 108 here on the American State Bank scoreboard. We'll be back here in a minute.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw. Built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're back here. Tetons won the tip-off here to start overtime. 5 minutes on the clock. Starters back on the court. Johnson has the ball on the far wing for Williston State. Gets it to Inget. Back to Johnson. Johnson thought about a three-pointer. He's going to drive. Gets it over the top of Tropnos. And no good. It'll be taken down by the Royals. Lake Region State again pushing up the court. Here comes a drive by Payne. Blocked by McDonald. Tropnos comes away with it. He'll lay it up and in. Genuine Tropnos gives the Royals the lead. Fouls did not reset in overtime. Tetons back with the ball. Massey has it. Gives it over to Inget. Pump fake now up on top to Johnson. Back to Inget. Inget looking to drive on Aju into the corner to McDonald. McDonald gets it into the mid-range for a floater up and in. Josiah McDonald now with 9 in the game. 1:10 apiece. Kindle set to check into the scoreboard. Payne on top of the perimeter. He'll get it off to Chambers. Drives on McDonald. Loses the ball. Gets it back in the low post. Cut off by McDonald. Up on top to Payne. It'll go. 16 on the shot clock. Payne drives on Massey. Out of goal again to Chambers. Gets a Tropnos screen. Pick and roll. Nothing there. Chambers out to Aju in the corner now. Going to be a drive on the baseline. Swing pass. Open three for Payne. That's going to be off the mark. And there's going to be a foul called on Richard Massey. So 3 free throws coming on a very, very soft, if any contact made foul, and that will send Alvin Payne to the stripe for a couple. So now Payne at the line for the first of 3. His first one misses, no good. Best he can do is put Lake Region up a bucket. One more coming for Payne. 3:38 left to go in overtime. Second of 3 on the way, and that one is going to be in. Johnson checking out of the game. Kindle coming in. As Chambers will have one more to go to try to put his side up by 2. Chambers with his next one. That one is going to be good. 2 for 3 from the stripe. Tetons down by a bucket. 102-100. Long pass over to McDonald. Surveying up to Inget. Over to Massey. Massey holding, waiting into the corner for Kindle. He'll put it on the deck. Push it up to the wing. He's cut off. Back to McDonald. Josiah pulls it back. Thought about a long three, but gets it over to Inget. Inget a bounce pass back to Josiah. Three-pointer from McDonald. Got it to go! Huge shot from McDonald. He now has 12 points in the game. The Tetons are up 113-112. 3:08 left to go in overtime on the American State Bank scoreboard. Payne driving, getting to the hole. He's going to get that one to drop. Alvin Payne is so good driving. Tetons now down by 114-113. Massey on the wing. Long pass to Kindle. Kindle gets it into the corner. McDonald again for a triple. Good! Got it to go! Josiah McDonald with a three-pointer. Back-to-back triples. He now has 15, and the Tetons are up by 2. 116-114. 2.5. Chambers driving. He's cut off. Gets it to Tropnos. Gonna miss the shot. Gets it into the side of the rim. Good defense by Sterling. Slid his feet and absorbed the contract. Inget now gets it over to Massey, who thought about a quick one. Sterling on the low post. Bounce pass to Kindle. Kindle's going to dribble out. He'll hand it off to McDonald. McDonald again from range. Got it to go! Josiah McDonald, get out of the kitchen when JoJo is cooking. Looking like Chef Ramsay up in here. 3 straight three-pointers. Tetons up by 5. Here comes Payne looking to drive, and they're going to call a foul on McDonald. Push off for Payne. Gets a foul on McDonald. That'll be his 4th. Payne going back to the stripe for 2. 119-114, and that foul is going to be number 4 on McDonald. Or excuse me, number 5 on McDonald. So Josiah now out of the game. Checking in is Will Olson. McDonald has scored now all 11 points in the half for Williston, or in overtime for Williston State. And now the Tetons will hand things over to Will Olson to try and see if the Tetons can hold on for the remaining 2:03. At the line is Alvin Payne. Has 2 more shots at the stripe. He went 2 for 3 his last trip, and he was fouled by Massey on a three-pointer. Payne at the line for his first. Is going to be short off the front of the rim. No good. He'll have one more coming. 2:03 left to go. Payne again with the ball at the line. Ready for his second of 2. That one is going to be good. He'll knock down 1 of 2, make it 119-115. Inget kicks it off to Olson, who will push it up the court. The sophomore Olson gives it over to the sophomore Inget. Now Massey on the far wing. High post to Kindle. Looked to get underneath to Sterling. Couldn't quite. He'll reverse directions. Got his man in a blender. Throws it away into the hands of Payne. 2-on-1 break. Here comes Payne. Inget looking to try to take the charge, but Payne gets around him and puts it up and in. 2-point game now. 119-117 with 1:40 left to go in overtime. Tetons can ill afford any more giveaways. Gets it over to Kindle on the near wing. Massey in the paint. Looking to get it out. Gets it into the corner for Olson. Olson bounce pass back to Massey. 15 on the shot clock. Massey driving. Gets it to Inget. Inget back to Massey on the wing. Holding on to it. Now waiting. Flips it up to Olson. Olson looking to drive. Backing down on an opponent. Flips it up. It's going to be blocked by Tropnos. And there's going to be a foul called on Tropnos. That's going to be his 5th. And it'll put Will Olson to the line. So, no, just number 4, they say, on Tropnos. But that will send Olson to the stripe. Will has yet to crack the scoring column here in the game, and the Tetons need him here for a couple. Will at the line for his first of 2. Knocked it down. Makes it a 3-point game. 120-117. They'll have one more coming with 1:12 left to go. Neither team... The Royals have 1 timeout. Tetons have 2 after both teams each got a bonus timeout awarded for overtime. Next one from Olson is good. Will goes 2 for 2 for the stripe to make it a 4-point game. Back up the court comes Chambers. He'll cross the timeline. 1:08 left to go. Picked up by Massey. Gets it over to O'Cook. Turns the corner. Looks to drive on Massey. Throws it up. It'll be off the rim. No good. Tipped in and go in there. Not sure who that one's going to be credited for. So Kindle will get it in now, down to a 2-point game. 121-119. Olson crosses the timeline. Under a minute left to go. Will gets it off to Inget over to Massey on the near wing. Massey bounce back to Tyson. Tyson gets it to Olson. Looking for someone to come open. Olson dribble the ball. Look to get it down low. Nothing there. Underneath to Inget, and Olson fired it too hard. It goes out of bounds, and the Tetons turn it over with 39.1 seconds left to go. Williston State needs to get a stop here. So it'll be Chambers inbounding the ball to Payne. Payne working his way up the court. He'll cross the timeline with 35 seconds left to go. Picks up a high screen from Tropnos. Looks to drive. Taking on a couple of defenders. Sterling forces the miss, and it's going to be, gets it off to Inget. Bounce baseline pass over to Kindle. Kindle rides up the sideline, and there's going to be a take foul called on Tropnos. Now that's his 5th foul. 21.7 seconds left. Miller set to check in the game for Tropnos. And Kindle will go to the stripe for a pair. Dimitri Kindle, coming off the bench, has 10 points in the game. He has a chance for 12. Needs to knock both of them down to make it a 2-possession contest. 121-119. Dimitrik with his first on the way. That one is good. A full 1-possession game with a chance for one more. Tetons all getting back, ready to play defense as Kindle has one more shot from the charity stripe. Dimitrik on the line for his second of 2. That one is good. Makes it a 4-point game. 123-119. Kindle guarding the inbound pass. Looking at trying to get open. No one open. And there's going to be a timeout called, as Payne had nothing to do but call a timeout. And that is the last timeout of the game for Lake Region. We'll have to see if that comes into effect. And we'll see. I do believe it is going to be a long timeout. It is. We'll take a quick 1-minute timeout. Back for more in 60 seconds.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Micro back here. Inbound pass goes to the Royals. Chambers bringing it up the court, guarded by Kindle, crossing over. Going to pick up a big screen. Chambers drives, puts it up, and in. 2 more for Chambers. 2-point game with 11 seconds left to go, and there's going to be a reach-in take foul on Alvin Payne as the inbound pass went to Tyson Inget. Inget now will go to the line for a pair. Tyson missed his last 2 shots from the line in the midst of an 0-for-4 trip for the Tetons from the stripe. Overall in the game, the Tetons have not had a good shooting trip for the line. Just 19 of 31, but 2 huge ones here for Tyson. Needs at least one. Inget's first one is going to be up and good. One more coming with 10.8 seconds left. Need this one to make it a 2-possession game. Tyson for his second. That one is good. And there's going to be a timeout called by the Tetons here. We're going to see if it's a long one or a short one. Either way, we're just going to take a quick 30-second breakout. It's a full timeout. We'll be back here to break things down in half a minute.
Farmers and ranchers, set your goals with American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston. Whether it's equipment, land, or working capital, our experienced ag team offers a flexible, competitive, and personalized approach.
This is Aaron Granley, Ag Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. We understand the challenges and opportunities unique to this region. Reach out today to set up a visit to our office or out in your field.
ASB's experienced and committed ag team is ready to help you go beyond. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Michael back here. We are in overtime. Tetons have a 4-point lead over Lake Region State and the Royals. 125 to 121 with 10.8 seconds left to go in the game. The Royals climb back from down 19 in the second half to force overtime with just under 4 seconds left to go. The Tetons, despite giving up the first bucket of the overtime period to Lake Region, have now climbed up to a 4-point lead. They've led by as many as 5. The Royals will be inbounding the ball. They'll have to get a bucket, a stop, and then another score. No one guarding the inbound pass. He'll go into Chambers. He hit the tying shot, and there's going to be Kindle coming around. Chambers is going to throw one up, and they're going to get Kindle on the foul on the three-point shot. So Demetra Kindle picks up his second personal foul, and that will send Bronson Chambers to the line for 3 shots in a 4-point game with 6.3 seconds left to go in overtime. So Chamber at the line for 3 big ones for the Royals. First one on the way is going to be good. Tetons with 1 timeout left, none for Lake Region. Chambers with the ball back at the stripe. Here comes his second of 2. That one is good as well. He'll have 1 more coming. It'll make it a 2-point game, 125-123. Miller back out of the game. Checking back in is going to be Wellington. Also back in is Lee. Here comes 3 or 3, and that one's going to drop in there. Inbound pass goes to Olsen. Gets it back to Kimball. Kimball's going to... Foul's going to be called on Payne. The whistle came before contact. So save a 1/10 of a second or 2. So that will send Demetra Kindle back to the stripe. Now the best Demetra can do is make it a 3-point game with 3.6 seconds left to go for the Royals to try to get a last-second heave. Kindle at the line for his first. That one is down and good. Now it'll be Miller coming back into the game. He'll check in, but we'll have to wait to see. He's going to check in for Wellington. The Tetons are going to take a full time out. It's their last time out as well. We're going to take another 30-second break. When we come back, we'll have more Teton basketball here from Williston.
For more than 70 years, Expanse Electrical Company has delivered market-leading electrical, power, and automation expertise. We're upon a legacy of technology, quality, and craftsmanship. They are confident that they have the best team in the industry. Welcome to opportunity to serve you. Proud member of the Williston community, Expanse continually works to build a better future for their company, their craftsmen, and their customers. We pride ourselves on having one of the most efficient teams of directly employed licensed electricians and automation engineers in the industry. Interested in powering up your career? Visit expanseelectrical.com/careers to learn about their openings in the North Dakota region.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball. 2-point game, 126-124, 3.6 seconds left to go here from the well in Williston. On the American State Bank scoreboard, no team has a timeout left, and Demetra Kindle is at the line for 1 free throw shot. He knocked down his first one to make it a 2-point game. He'll have 1 more coming to try to push it to a full possession with a 3-point lead. A couple of Royals back already set up in their shooting shots or shooting stances to see if they can't get one to go here for a game tire or a game winner. Kindle at the line for number 2. Looking to make it a 3-point contest, and he drills it to make it 127-123. It'll be Johnson coming into the game for Kindle. So the Tetons now they go a baseline pass. It's going to be thrown away. Johnson gets it, throws it up at the bucket. Ian Johnson puts it in, and that's going to ice it. Tetons now up 129-124. Heave at the end. Doesn't matter. Tetons come away. Johnson locked down, and he got the steal away from Chambers and was able to put in the floater. Tetons survive an absolute rock fight here in the well in Williston. 129-124. We're going to take a couple of minutes to catch our breath and go down and pick up the stat sheet. When we come back, we'll have the full rundown of this wild one here from Williston. Mike, we're back here for Teton